little bit of some streaming of Dishonored 2 today. I was thinking about going back through Dishonored 1, but I really like the gameplay and storyline of 2. There's a lot of really cool sandboxes and set pieces that Arcane Studios came up with for this game. And not to mention it's pretty decently replayable because much like Prey, their other game, there's skill trees and various other things that come into play. Plus the two main protagonists, Emily Caldwin and Corvo, have drastically different ability sets, so it kind of changes everything every time you play and how you spec out your character. Just like Prey, I mean, it's pretty much infinitely limitless how you can go about building a character, so I hope the volume is okay. I tried to dial it back. I got some feedback from a friend last night when I was playing Infamous that the volume was a bit heavy-handed compared to me being able to speak over it, so I'm not doing that this time. Also, I have decided to move myself into the spectator broadcasting area for the game, and that's basically because I couldn't see my HUD and it was kind of driving me nuts. So the game's actually going to be in a little bit smaller window here compared to what I'm used to playing on my TV, but I'm willing to make those sacrifices so I can actually see things. It's very important in this game, seeing as there's a pretty hefty stealth mechanic that comes into play to be able to evaluate your surroundings and make sure that you're setting yourself up for the best possible drop on somebody. Not to say that there won't be times where I'm just going basically slash crazy and trying to kill something that's trying to murder me. So we'll see what happens. It depends on how bad I get caught. But I love these games, both of them. Still past the test of time at this point. Graphically, the first one's a little bit of a step down, but still good to look at. Mechanically, though, they're both sound. Really fun games, and they've got kind of a Deus Ex type approach to the world, where you get to pick the way you want to play, and the paths you choose, and the way you go about things. There's also morality in here, much like Prey and Infamous, where you're really trying to make the best decisions you can for the good playthrough, and maybe not so good a decision for the bad playthrough. I typically like to ebb on the side of the good playthrough, but that's not to say, again, that level to level things aren't going to get kind of crazy, so we'll see how it goes. So without further ado, let me get jumping into this bad boy. So this is Dishonored 2. New game. Oh wow, I haven't played this, at least that particular one, since 2016, so we're gonna get rid of my 2018 save slot. Yep. And we'll go average difficulty. And yeah, just so you guys can kind of see, I'll go through the tutorial. I typically don't, but it's kind of a cool little intro to things, really. And kind of like Prey, the load screens are not super terrible, but sometimes they can get a little lengthy.
I remember training with my father in the years after the rat plague. Someday, he said, our enemies will come for you.
Alright, so the original game actually had kind of more of an oil-painted type of look to the environment. This game kind of holds it a little bit, but there's a lot more realism that they bring forward. You know, the ambient music might still be a bit loud. Let me take just a second here and adjust that. Don't want to be yelling over the music, guys, so, you know. second. Back that off to around. Let's go 45-ish. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so.
The sounds and smells of Dunwall never change much. This is my city.
So this is Emily. If you played through the first game, Emily was actually the little girl you were trying to rescue. She's the Empress's daughter. The first game did really focus on a rat plague within the city, and interestingly enough, the more you murder people, the worse the rat plague gets throughout the game, so there's a lot of consequence in that. You'll see this game's kind of follows a similar motif, but there's a bit of a different shift in what's going on that way. As to whether I'm going to play Corvo or Emily, Corvo's my main dude, if you will. He has been since the first game, but Emily's powers are kind of neat. So we'll see when I get to the choice. We'll see.
What
I'm kind of
training
50-50
regimen
on
does
it
Father
today.
have in store for me today?
So.
All right, Majesty. Let's see what you can do.
So I really just kind of want to show this off because, yeah, just like Prey, you know, you've got kind of your low duck mechanic. You can mantle over things. Slide. Oops. If you're good, not bad. You can slide.
Hurry.
There we go.
Easy as cake.
You'll have to sprint, vault the obstacle, then slide under.
Alright. Now he's just being mean. But at any rate, in the last game, you found out that
Never doubted I could make that.
Corvo was the Empress's protector, and he actually ended up having a love affair with the Empress, and Emily is his daughter. I won't spoil too much more off of that game, but it's kind of necessary to tell these small little details, so, I mean, spoiler warning, but there's a lot more substance to that game, too, that can happen as far as things go, so I highly encourage you, if you haven't played it yet, and you kind of like that pseudo-stealth with some abilities type approach to gameplay, to give it a run. It's not everybody's cup of tea, but I personally have a lot of fun, or had a lot of fun with it. It reminded me of kind of a Splinter Cell with knives and swords. And, yeah, it was really
Only
fun.
I could spend every day running and jumping. Now let's see how quick my feet are.
Yep, failed that jump, didn't we? I even tapped X. There we go.
Come to me.
Gotta be deliberate about your X
well.
pushing, folks. Deliberate.
Let's see how quiet you are, young lady.
Alright, so the stealth tutorial.
I want you to sneak up on me, if you can.
Okay, Dad.
That's my girl.
Nailed it.
Don't let me hear you or see you.
So what they're kind of trying to show here is
Didn't say
that
anything at all.
Don't make any sound.
In the words of Corvo Atano, hidden like a secret, quiet as the sunset.
they're just showing that not necessarily everything in this game is going to result in you having to be in combat.
Remember, a pistol will wake up everyone in the building. Your crossbow is quiet.
So this is the same as the first game. You have a had a crossbow and a blade. So as you can see, there are some things in the environment you can interact with, and if you're being smart about it and not wasting a bunch of arrows like I was, you can make some pretty cool things happen. Things that bar your way you can actually breach through. That's one thing that this Arcane Studios does really well, is they leave you
Time for
tons
some
of
more
choices.
weapons and combat training. Let's beat each other up, shall we?
Sounds like fun.
Yes. You hit him. That's my daughter. When someone swings a sword at you, block. Good. Well done. Block with your blade. Very good. You've got a natural instinct for fighting. If you time your block right, you'll throw an enemy off balance.
Yeah, this is kind of cool. If you get a perfect block, then you will end up getting a perfect parry.
Come on. You're quick. Smart move.
Come on, Dad. Stop being a pansy.
That'd stop even the most black-hearted killer.
Crap egg.
You can choke an enemy out, even in combat.
Yeah, this is where the game's mechanics got better than one. So when you knock him off balance, it actually gives you a moment to react and be able
Go for the fatality.
either choke them out or murder them, basically.
When an enemy is off balance, you can land a lethal counterattack.
Yep. So that's the other
Feel better
so
knowing you can take care of yourself.
it's kind of cool because
When trouble does finally come,
you think
you're
about
ready
it,
to fight.
R1 is your block counter, and then when you're in stealth mode, it's your non-lethal ways of taking enemies down at a close distance. R2 is lethal, so swinging your sword, trying to kill something. It's kind of cool and interesting that they separated it onto those two buttons, but here we are. So let's get right into the story now. I didn't want to linger in the tutorial too long, but just wanted to show you some of the game's first mechanics and explain them slowly so that people that are seeing this for the first time can kind of get an idea of what the game's about and kind of how it plays. And you know, it's not everybody's forte, like I said, but I enjoy it.
Why do we celebrate the anniversary of an assassination? 15 years ago, in the middle of a plague that nearly destroyed Dunwall, a paid killer assaulted the palace where I was born and stabbed my mother in the heart. In the aftermath, the men who sent the assassin tried to use me as a pawn in a game of power. They would have succeeded, but my father, Corvo Atano, hunted them down and cut their conspiracy to pieces. All these years later, am I the ruler my mother wanted me to be? Now, we face a new crisis. A monster the papers are calling the Crown Killer has been picking off my enemies and dressing it up like my father and I are responsible. I don't know whether to get on a ship and sail to the opposite side of the world, or to have everyone around me executed.
Sailing sounds good, but executions for traitors, I don't know how far that gets you, Emily. Especially if they weren't traitors.
Watch your step, Majesty.
I'm not looking forward to all the ceremony today.
Your signet ring. There. You're ready.
Thank you, Alexei. Open the doors.
All hail Her Imperial Majesty, Emily Caldwin.
Loyal subjects, we're going through a difficult time, but today we honor my mother, the late Jessamine Caldwin. May her memory survive through the ages.
Emily.
You look tired, Father.
Every year, I think the anniversary of Jessamine's death will be easier, but it never is.
I wish Mother was still the Empress. I don't think I'm very good at this.
You're still learning. Don't worry about the rabble-rousers, and we'll catch the Crown Killer, eventually.
People are saying it's you. That these assassinations are a misguided effort to protect me.
No. Someone's trying to make us look guilty by targeting your enemies.
I wish I could just run away from all this.
Sometimes you do. You think I don't know about your nights out on the rooftops? Courage. The ceremony will be over soon.
Royal Protector and Father. I should have passed a law against that combination of titles years ago.
Your Majesty, before we begin the day's observances, we have an unexpected visitor, the Duke of Serkonos.
Ramsey says the Duke is bringing special gifts.
That's intriguing.
His Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos!
Some gifts, huh?
Mechanical soldiers? Amazing.
What is this, Ramsey? I didn't authorize those things.
Your Imperial Majesty and Royal Protector Corvo Atano, a native of our homeland. Serkonos offers condolences on this sorrowful day, and gifts to remind you of our nation, the rising star on the southern horizon.
We thank you, Your Grace.
Save your thanks. For now, I give you the greatest gift of all, family. I present the lost sister of Jessamine Caldwin, your rightful Empress, Delilah Caldwin.
Impossible.
My mother had a sister?
My dearest niece, hello.
It's not true.
My father was Emperor Euhorn Jacob Caldwin, and Jessamine was my younger sister. At the time of her death, I wasn't ready to make myself known to you, and I was forced to leave Dunwall. But now I'm home.
If you really are my mother's sister, you're welcome to stay as long as you like.
Little sparrow, blackened by bad memories, I'm here to relieve you of your crown. My father's promise, whispered in secret so many years ago, is now fulfilled.
Watch your tongue. Emily Caldwin is the daughter of Empress Jessamine Caldwin.
Royal Protector, how naive to think you could get away with these murders. Living in my palace has protected you, but that's over. Hear me, all of you. Your rightful Empress has returned.
All hail the Empress Delilah, first of her name. Arrest Emily Caldwin and her father for the Crown Killer murder.
What?
Your sword can't still my heart.
Alright, so now we get to choose. We play as Corvo, play as Emily. You know, just for argument's sake, I think we're gonna play as Emily this time around. She's got some pretty cool abilities that you haven't seen from the other game. Corvo does get a couple new abilities, but he plays really much the same, and his storyline is, well, gonna be similar. I'll show you here in a minute. We'll take Emily.
cold marble. No!
So if I would have chosen the other, of course, the other
Sweet girl.
person would be
Over time,
advancing
you'll come to love me.
state.
Perhaps someday you'll see me as the mother you lost. But until then, you'll be kept out of trouble.
I'll lock Lady Emily in her chambers, then I'll bring her to Cold's prison until her trial.
So with the exception of the storyline, Corvo
My father
goes
lost
back
it
to
all when I was a
trying
boy,
to
so
save
now I wear
the
this
Empress's
uniform.
daughter.
I send 20-year-olds out to patrol the Rose
Familiar
Gardens
storyline.
instead of drinking with the men from the shooting club.
But the Empress,
Captain Ramsey, I heard shouting. Lady Emily, what happened?
That'll be all, Captain Mayhew.
No!
So that's the Royal Protector's fancy weapon. What kind of sword folds in half?
but yeah, it follows a similar plot thread, even though the environments are different. Corvo's trying to save his daughter.
There's a legend in the Tower Guard about the Empress's last resort, a safe room inside your chambers holding enough gold to buy a good-sized island. They say that this ring is one of the only 2 keys to exist.
Yep. I'm gonna ruin your day, buddy.
What happened? Alexei. The throne room. Father.
Alright,
Nothing
so
I can do alone. I need to get out of here.
you'll see some familiar looking things if you play Prey, like eating food restores your health.
Hold your horses, Corporal. Dial.
There's definitely things to read.
You'd be smart to remember that.
No, her revenge as an ousted Empress is pretty compelling. It's pretty fun. So, we're gonna look through this evil here.
These bastards are working with Ramsey and the Duke of Serkonos.
Don't have a key, so just like that game, we're gonna have to find another way, or just like Frey, we're gonna have to find another way out. And that seems pretty logical.
How many times have I looked at that skyline? It feels like everything just changed.
So I'm trying to remember exactly how I got out. I know this is one way, but we gotta be on the other side of that pipe for bird, so perhaps we can slide open one of the other windows over here. Nope. Okay. As fate would have it, people don't like to check windows very often.
Delilah is some sort of witch. How is this possible?
Lady Emily, you're... Where's the Royal Protector?
There's a coup underway. My father is... he's imprisoned, for lack of a better word.
You've got to get out of the tower. Through your safe room. There was a captain earlier today, down at the docks.
Kind of funny, it's
looking for the Royal Protector.
just
Find
like
her.
Infamous
Get
has
out
playing
of
last night.
Dunwall.
Concrete
Alexei,
powers, and now,
I'm sorry.
you know,
Goodbye.
a person is encased in it, so kind of funny. Alright, so here's our secret safe room. That crap bag took our ring that allows us access into said thing. So, let's see, lean. Okay, so we can lean like we can in the other game. one thing about this game I love is the environments are just gorgeous. Really gives you that feel. Oh hey, look. It's the railroad just worked. Okay, so we need to get downstairs. Protector stuff. It's kind of important to check through some of the readings, just like the other game, Prey. Excellent, I can sell that. Sometimes you find the littlest tips or the littlest secrets, like safe combinations and such, on people's notes, because they just kind of leave them lying around. They're really super irresponsible. Oh man, they're just murdering the help, for crying out loud. We'll see how I feel.
Hello?
If I feel like running a stabby campaign or not.
Huh. Nothing.
Yep, nothing. Nothing's right. Stabby. Alright.
Traitors.
Yeah, that's right. Here you go. Read a book. Crap bag. Alright. A little bit of money. I can use that as a distraction. We'll see.
The throne room blocked off, we should have the time we need. Just stay here and stall anyone who comes by. I'll be back when I've searched the royal chambers, assuming I don't accidentally lock myself in this damn safe room.
We'll cover for you if anyone from the Duke's party returns. This is exciting. Everything's changing.
Yes, the natural order is reasserting itself. The Ramseys once hosted the King and Queen of Morley, did you know that? I spent my childhood playing with the Buntings and the Boyles, cream of society.
And very soon you'll be back at the top, Captain.
Ramsay's family fell from the aristocracy, and apparently the man holds a grudge. How it's my fault, that's beyond me. But one way or another, Ramsay is too dangerous to be left in play.
Transfer. I've got to get over to one of the other districts.
Yeah, it's gonna be soon.
I don't even think that was English, man. That was just like come here, buddy. Night, night. Oh, these are the enemy guys.
Prove for their loyalty to me. Damn the Duke of Serkonos. Damn Delilah. Father, I don't know how, but I'll make this right. I promise.
Freaking witch. She's a witch. Like I said, I mean, you're murdering the staff.
Watchmen! The former Empress has escaped. We need to find her.
Congratulations. You're the next contestant on. About to get shanked. Yeah, I'm feeling stabby. This guy's an asshole. Oh, yeah.
Traitor.
I'll take that ring back, sir.
This won't leave my hand again.
Excuse me, sir. You're bleeding all over my lovely palace. Have a nice fall. Crap bag. Captain Mayhew, you don't know me, but you've got the Royal Protector. You got to tell the Royal Protector. I have an urgent need this time. I'm carrying a message that's been delivered face to face. Tell him I'm working with Anton Solkov, an old friend. All the boats are being... or Sokolov, sorry. An old friend. All the boats are being sent away from the docks, but I'll delay as long as I can. Tell Lord Corvo to find me there. My ship is called the Dreadful Whale. Megan Foster. Okay, so, yeah, Sokolov is a scientist, and he develops kind of like the health potions in the game and the magic potions in the game. So it's kind of a little background lore from the first game, a little nod that way.
I can't dally. No time for that now.
I thought there was time. It was kind of fun. Right,
Anton Sokolov made this lock.
So fun fact, here at the house, I got the collector's edition, so I actually have Corvo's metal mask that he wears. A 3D printed version of it sitting up on the shelf, and I also have a ring box that has a metal replica ring of Emily's ring.
I spent so many nights in here after the rat plague.
Some pistol bullets. Yeah, just books. Literacy. Our Empress is literate. You know what? This sucks. Hate my life. My father's entombed. Oh hey, there's a health.
This could be handy. I have a feeling I'll need these.
Yeah, you will. Interesting.
The reserves won't help against Delilah, even if I had a way to carry it all out of here.
Yeah, they might. Okay. I love how that blade folds up. It just kind of collapses into itself. Okay. So, now we need the ring again. Yep, let's go to the streets. Let's go to the streets. Auto-saving, and load screen. So, like I said, I know we're kind of in the early moments of this game, but as far as like a part 1 goes, kind of messed around. I'm hoping to be able to get her powers, so we can look at a couple of those. Then my plan was kind of to go back to Infamous, and I wanted to basically, first off, turn the sound down a lot so that I can talk. But moreover, just the beginning of the game is not the whole flavor of it, as with all games. It does get more and more interesting, and I forgot actually how much fun that game is too. But it's the morning. I had just woken up. I'm like, I'm kind of in the Dishonored mood right now, so we're playing Dishonored.
Until I understand this, I have to go into hiding. I should make my way to the docks.
So yeah, it's kind of crazy. Yoink. That's another thing, is like there's hidden portraits in the game. If you take them, they're worth quite a bit of cash. Cash comes into play later because you'll find black market merchants, and you can buy equipment and or runes, which augment your abilities. It's kind of cool.
out of Dunwall.
Yeah. You'll see, we haven't gotten there yet, but you'll see. Alright. Fall from moderate heights without taking damage.
What do I have to do to help my father? What do I have to become?
You have to become your father. You must seek revenge. He did in the first game. Alright. Cool thing is we can get a drop on this guy. 3, 2, 1. I didn't time it right. Usually you can actually, from a height
You're
like
not
that,
fit for the watch uniform.
you can actually knock them down unlethally, or you can stab them. Let's see. Okay.
I need to find a ship.
So, now you can see this is where the sandbox really opens up. I don't have abilities to do so yet,
Listen
but
up. I have bad news.
there are definitely ways
Ramsey's
to
dead. Corporal
be
Moore
up
checked the
on
royal quarters, and
rooftops.
Emily Coldwin has apparently fled the scene. We've got
You
to
can
find
use
her.
the scaffolds
That's it.
and
You got
natural
your
parts of the
city's
building
crawling
to
with the
stay
Duke's
high.
men.
And
We're in this with the Duke of Circano,
Yeah, it's
sink
pretty
or
crazy.
swim. There's no way to turn back now.
we're gonna sneak in this way. Apparently that guy's dead. More of my men dead. Really not impressed by this dude guy and what he's done. Yep. Totally duck under here, which is cool. Yep, and now my guards are being slaughtered by this
Kinda
dude.
dry. You really go for a whiskey or something.
Kill all enemies, defeat enemies non-lethally, escape and stay out of sight, or use powerful gadgets and trickery to creatively overcome
One of them
situations.
2-penny drinks.
Yep.
Sure, he knows how to talk with the boss. What a lick spittle.
I'll look for you.
That's Emily Coldwin!
Hey, buddy.
Think you're scaring me? You aren't going anywhere! End of the road for you! Damn you!
Oh, jeez. Okay. That was the wrong approach. I was trying to use him as a human shield, and, yeah. Apparently, the blades still cut through two people's bodies at the same time. Because they're very powerful blades. They're like lightsabers, maybe. We're not sure. Let's try that again. The reload times aren't horrible, so.
I need to find a ship.
Listen up. I have bad news. Ramsey's dead. Corporal Moore checked the royal quarters, and Emily Coldwin has apparently fled the scene. We've got to find her.
The non-lethal
crawling with the
playthrough
Duke's men.
is definitely
We're in this with the Duke of Circano, sink or swim. There's
a
no
more
way to turn
challenging
back now.
approach, but if you want the good ending, you've got to be kind of non-lethal about things. So I'm gonna go down here. Wow, they lined these people up and just executed them. These are my people. You jackasses. Alright. Oh, crap-a-bags. Oh, crap-a-bags. You really are a bunch of crap-a-bags.
Attention, Dunwall citizens.
So far, so good.
Today, Delilah Caldwin is our new empress. All hail Delilah, first of her name.
Further, the former empress, Emily Coldwin, is now wanted for treason. So let's see. What was it?
You sure need to be quiet.
Kiara, sorry you missed us. I'll be taking the children away from Dunwall earlier than expected. A few weeks before the upcoming anniversary of Empress Jessamine's death. Things are about to get bad, and I'm not just talking about the Crown Killer. Besides, there's profit to be made bringing new silver miners down south. So arrangements must be made. Ta for now.
So you're telling me this coup's been in place for a while, in other words. That's comforting. Comforting to know my subjects have been participating in a coup.
Huh?
Oh, mama.
Hold on.
That's Emily Caldwin!
Run. Ow.
I'll tear you to pieces.
Lethal baby.
You know what to do.
Gotta get away.
Hardcore.
I should talk to the captain of that ship.
Who's running around? In the mood. Let's see how you got. I'll get to her. Think you're
So
close.
sneaky.
I'll take that. I wonder who that was.
Somebody else, muchachos.
Empress, I mean.
Came here to warn the royal.
Sorry guys, you had to have been there.
Too late. Now what?
All right.
Lady Emily, you won't get far with that face. Stamped on half the coins in the city.
There's a coup underway, and I'm being blamed for the Crown Killer murders. I don't care what my face looks like.
My name's Megan Foster. I work with an old ally of yours, Anton Sokolov. We learned something scary down in the south, and I came to warn you.
I know, Anton, but Corvo's gone. The Duke of Sarkonos is here with a woman named Delilah. They massacred everyone in the throne room. Then she did something I can't explain. There was nothing to do but run.
Sometimes that's all you can do. This is my ship, the Dreadful Whale. We can head out as soon as you're ready.
I need to get to Karnaka where the Crown Killer murders started. Delilah must have been down there for a while, and I've got to figure out what's going on.
You're Corvo's daughter. I'll give you that. Should we go?
Yes,
Right.
I'm ready.
Sorry. I'm keeping an eye on my phone. Because times be changing fairly quickly here with what's going on, so. Alright, so my dot is in between neutral and assault. Not even close to stealth for that first part. I told you things would kind of go different ways, so. Yeah. So I had a couple sub-objectives, which were don't kill anyone and never be detected. First try. Alright, let's go. Yeah, those sub-objectives are always persistent. The interesting thing is when we get to the actual levels, they themselves will have options on how you can take out the so-called big bad of the level, your target. Sometimes you often have to get creative about doing a non-lethal approach versus a lethal one. It's just kind of cool. So now we're on a boat.
Am I still aboard Megan's ship? It feels odd.
We're on a boat. Doors locked. Oh,
What
hey.
is this place? Where am I?
Yeah. So, sorry. I didn't realize my head's leaning all the way over here. Welcome into the world of the
I can
outsider.
feel something moving closer. Watching.
Empress Emily Caldwin. I am a friend of your father's from the bad old days. I never expected us to meet. I watched your mother die at the hands of schemers who wanted your little empire. Then you were rescued by a man in a strange mask. I thought that was the end of the excitement. But someone yanked the rug from under your feet. You've lost your throne and your father. And I promise, Delilah won't just give them back. So, what are you prepared to do about it? Your Imperial Majesty? And are you clever enough to do it without spilling a river of blood? I asked Corvo those questions 15 years ago. This is the moment that changed him. Now it's your turn.
It burns from the inside. I feel like I'm standing at the edge of something. All the stories, they're true. Incredible. This is how I'm going to save my father and reclaim the throne.
Yes, this is where it gets kind of cool. You get your powers. She has kind of like this weird ethereal tentacle type ability. Corvo just would teleport, basically. But this thing comes in handy a lot.
What is that? It feels familiar.
Do this.
Know you. Do you remember? It's been so long, and you've been through so much. Even as an echo of myself, it's good to know you're there.
Mother? You're here, but you're not here. In my hand, but somewhere else.
Only the last of my essence, with you for a while. If only I could reach across this great expanse and take you into my arms. But I have this to offer. My gift and my curse. Summon me to your hand, and I will guide you when I can. There are no stars in the sky here. There's no sky.
Who is Delilah really? How could she? I don't understand.
There's no one quite like Delilah. I watched her pull herself up from blood and filth, until she was in a position to steal from the wisest scholars in the Empire. Survival and ambition, art and magic, with a cunning that makes fawning sycophants of those around her, all of it leading to what you saw at Dunwall Tower. Delilah's playing the long game. She took all the abuse the world could deal out, and now she has a crown. But I'll let you in on a secret. She's got her eyes set on a much greater prize.
Yes, she does. A knife to the back of the head. Alright, so. Hit another load screen here.
When I was 10 years old, bored with my lessons, I dreamed about sword fighting and sailing the ocean. Now I'm realizing that the world is stranger than I ever imagined. Everything I know has been turned on its head, but I'm dealing with it the best I can. When you look at the great jeweled map at Dunwall Tower, Karnaka is the southernmost port in the Empire. A fat, red ruby. That's how I always thought of it. Up close, the city smells like the ocean and strange spices. Up close, it's a tangled story of blood and ambition. The birthplace of my father. Megan Foster is a stranger, but there's something that makes me want to trust her, despite her guarded disposition. She got me out of Dunwall, and I need answers. Delilah and the Duke made me look like a murderer, using the Crown Killer to butcher my political adversaries. They took what was mine, and I'm gonna get it back.
Real shit. Got ourselves a couple bone charms.
Push out in into the harsh world. You are alone, but for a few allies.
Yeah, crossbow. Excellent. Alright. We may or may not end up using those. That whole lot. Comes into great use for distractions from time to time.
Must be cursed. Daft old man. This is some shit. That.
And we'll quick map the heart over
What
here.
would we have done in the old days? All sharp metal and shadows, we'd say.
Because they show you where runes are. It's looking like the runes outside the ship, maybe. Okay. Trying to remember exactly where this one is.
If we're lucky, the Howler will be distracted by some score they're working. You're up. When you're ready to talk, I'll tell you what I know.
Yeah, these crap bags. Right.
We've been en route for 2 weeks. I hope Sokolov is all right. Wherever he is.
Yeah, I may have to talk to her to get outside. Oh. The old window trick works again. Alright. That's what I thought. You're right. That was very good. There we go. Amateur out here. Got it. Got it. has some runes. I may hang on to them for a minute here. Yeah, we'll wait. Let's see what else we got. Alright. Going back in.
Karnaka looks...
All right. You've explained part of it. But what were you and Sokolov doing here?
Yep. What were you doing?
The old man loved Karnaka, but he'd caught wind of a conspiracy tied to the Crown Killer. He wanted to warn Corvo.
There are reports about tensions rising, corruption, street violence. I didn't give it much mind. Usually the local authorities resolve that sort of thing.
The new Duke has let things slide. But Sokolov concluded he might be the head of the conspiracy. He came in looking shocked, and if you've heard his after-dinner stories, you know that's unusual. We were going to set out for Dunwall, but something happened.
The Crown Killer.
Yes, the hatch ripped open and Sokolov screamed. All I caught was a glimpse of someone carrying him across the deck. I followed as long as I could, toward Addermeyer Institute. It's run by the alchemist Hypatia. Maybe the Duke is using a patient of hers, the Crown Killer.
Addermeyer. All right. I'll get inside. The Crown Killer has to be eliminated, and if the alchemist will cooperate, maybe I can learn something about what happened to Sokolov. Wish me luck.
If you need my luck, Sokolov's as good as dead. When you get done at the Institute, disable the watchtower. Once it's down, I'll bring the boat around. We'll take the skiff to the shore when you're ready.
Mortimer Ramsey. The Duke couldn't have pulled off the coup without someone inside the City Watch. Why is this here? It's Delilah. Always tinkering, painting, or living life with gusto. That's Sokolov.
Ready for me to drop you at the docks?
Let's go see the streets where my father grew up.
Off we go then.
It won't do to be recognized.
Yeah, I love it. Corvo has this whole mask that's like just a metal skeleton that he wears over his face, and to keep her identity hidden, she goes basically like reverse Batman. Instead of having a cowl, she's just got like this scarf, and she just pulls it up over her face, and she's like, well, clearly by the way I'm dressed and this scarf, no one will ever notice that I'm the Empress. It's logic. I'm gonna probably hang up this stream here so I can eat some food.
I'd take you to Addermeyer by boat, but security's too tight. The Grand Guard have a watchtower there. Go inland and use the carriage station. Before his death, the old Duke of Serkono spent decades building up Karnaka. After Duke Luca Abel took over, he started draining the wealth out of the city as fast as he could. Orgies and week-long feasts.
Having more fun here than we were in Dunwall, it seems.
Watch yourself on the way to Admire. The Duke's given the Grand Guard run of the city. Strangers get attacked on sight.
I'll keep my head down.
This is a good spot. Reach Admire, take out the Crown Killer, and find out where Sokolov was taken. The alchemist, Hypatia. She'll help if she can. Sokolov likes her.
I'll see you later at Admire. Just wait to bring up the boat until after I've disabled the watchtower.
Yeah, a lovely place, isn't it?
Welcome to Karnaka, stranger.
It's the time when I could go to sleep without wondering if I'd wake up. That's no way.
What ship is that? You up for a beer later? You're the skipper?
You bet. A dreadful whale. No, it's not on the registry. Maybe one of the recent orders.
Damn it! I'll get the cigars tomorrow. Wanna buy one?
Hello there.
Don't know what I ate to deserve that.
You know that was supposed to go to us. What are we supposed to do now?
We're playing dice tonight. You in?
Ourselves a new bone jar. Right, looks like it was a ruin. Yeah. Well, we can upgrade this rock. Upgrade that one.
Fellow Serkonans, in the Duke's absence, I have the following announcement.
What is wrong with this city?
We used to make good money here until all the Grand Guard shakedowns.
Former Empress Emily Caldwin, and carried out by the former Royal Protector, Corvo Attano. The Grand Serkonan Guard will be stopping and questioning all foreigners and new workers on the streets of Karnaka. Compliance is mandatory.
I'm in. Just remember to move slowly, and don't get too close to the nests.
We don't even know if the people inside had any money. We just know they're dead, and the place is infested.
Hey, come here.
I would, but the door is blocked, lady.
Then we end up hatching more flies for the next.
Damn it, Carl.
All right. We don't turn on each other.
Ah, there we
We'll
go.
find another way to
Is it a curse or a blessing to linger past your time in the world?
See, always look for another way around.
I have something that might interest you. My name's Mindy Blanchard, and you look like someone who goes into places where you don't belong. Want to help me with something? You scratch my ass, I'll scratch yours.
I need to get to Admire Institute. Can you help me with that?
Yeah, I know how to do that. You go get a body for me, and I'll help you with your problem. Don't worry, he's already dead.
A body? That's odd. From where?
The overseers are holding him at their outpost. They think he was a kind of a witch. I want the body for reasons of my own. Sneak in and take it. Then meet me in the old basement below the dentist office near there.
I'll think about it.
Something's up.
An underground market. Illegal trade means weapons and ammunition.
A new customer. With coin, I bet. Glad we could do business. This is what I have for upgrading your equipment. I'll take that deal. I shouldn't deal with strangers.
Black market shop and you lock the door. Unless you've got some super special powers. Let's see. That door's blocked too.
Fellow Serkonans, let us rejoice at the crowning of our new Empress Delilah Caldwin I, and the imminent arrival of His Grace Luca Abel, Duke of Serkonos, now royal consort to the Empress. For 3 days following the Duke's return to karnaka.
Hey there. What have you got for me? Oh, you're kind. Thank you. If you want to get past that wall of... Let's hope you never need help.
Alright, dude, didn't figure out, or figure you would be upset with me taking a potion. But I guess he was. So we've got a side objective. Side quest, yay. Is we'll save and stop. Just for now. I'm gonna go grab a bite to eat. I'll be back on later, most likely to play some more Infamous, but I hope you're enjoying like the very beginning of Dishonored 2, kind of seeing a little bit what it's about. Don't know how much more episodes I'll be putting out here, but like I said, I don't have school today, so I'm not exactly worried about it too hard. So I'm gonna take a back seat and enjoy this day off. I will catch you all later.